Well, guys, an exciting and dramatic end of the month of July sees yours truly climb from the ashes into second place. Hold your applause, hold your applause. Thank you very much. No, all joking aside, I did get my 3% from LVMH and that British tech chip company that you've never heard of. It's so unremarkable, I don't even remember the name of it, which is why I'm looking at it now. ASML. There we go. So I did get my 3% there. But Kyle, as you will know, it was more about Bitcoin finally getting some positive momentum than it was anything else.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So, second place feels really good. But our first topic for tonight, obviously, looking at the standings for the end of the month, um, you both have, I would venture to guess, at least a little bit of momentum now with your crypto holdings, or at least more so than you did 2 weeks ago. Are you buying that we're back in a place where there is actual long-term momentum that can be realized? Or are you selling right now and then just waiting for things to retreat a little bit before you look at them again?
Hmm.
Because confidence in these things right now is not high. We know that. Like it's very uneasy.
I guess I don't know. It's hard for me to say, I guess, but yeah, I would agree that confidence is just not really there. But I guess I don't.
Well, so what are you at right now? Because you were down like 70% on Ethereum a couple weeks ago, weren't you?
Yeah, so I'm down 61% on Ethereum right now.
Okay.
So
So continuing to move in the right direction. You've got a long
yeah,
ways to go, but
yeah, yeah. So that's
at
definitely
least moving.
working its
Okay.
way back up. Bitcoin is only a 2.5% increase, or positive right now. Um, so I mean, yeah, they're definitely coming back, but I don't know that I'm confident enough to say that they're back for the long haul.
Okay.
I think they're kind of stabilizing a little bit, so maybe the panic for a bit was like kind of stabilizing back, but so I don't know that they're gonna have that big hike that we've had like over the last year or the last few years even.
Yeah. Now, Kyle, you're in the unique position. I think you bought Bitcoin as close to the dip as probably anybody.
Oh yeah, the most
And then
recent
I
one.
don't mean the three of us. I mean anybody anywhere. Um, so you've got to be looking pretty damn good right now.
Yeah, it was up like 50% or more on Bitcoin at
Jeez.
the end of last month. But
There you go.
yeah, so it was because it got up to like like before it was just hovering between like around 27 to 32,000. So it was like a
Hmm.
$30,000 wall, and then so this last week after it jumped up, it got all the way up to 42,000.
Yeah.
And so I was wondering, I thought that I think that if it was back, I think that momentum would have carried it past where we ended up. Not maybe to the all-time high of wherever, like,
Yeah.
but like you know, approaching that maybe more if it was like back. I do think it's gotten past like another wall. I don't think it. I think like it'll. It seems to be kind of doing it right now. I think it's right now it's trading at like 39,000. So it kind of seems like it's gonna just do this kind of hover and
Yeah, it's a
mini, mini.
39 and a half.
Yeah, it seems like it's gonna
So,
do this mini wave thing around 40,000 now instead of 30,000. So
yeah.
that'll go for a while. I do think it comes back long term. I don't
Hmm.
think it. I think it's still something that you could hold on to and be like it'll be worth something in the long term. Like uh, a year or two. I guess it's not really long term in terms of investments, but like that's
Yeah, I
long
mean, I
term
was
for
gonna
crypto.
say we've talked about this part before. Like, I'm of the opinion if you're gonna buy it with actual money and not this game that we play, like hold it for 30 years and then check it. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
just don't stress yourself out over it because A, that's not the point, and B, it's not worth it.
yeah. So I think it's got a little momentum going its way. Back is hard for me to say. Like back to
Yeah.
me, Like there was like a lot of hype and talk around like
There
crypto
was.
when Tesla did its initial like, oh, we're buying crypto because that, or we're buying Bitcoin. That sounds like a
Well,
good
didn't
idea.
you send us something that says that Amazon is now going to do something with that?
Yeah, Amazon's gonna look into it or whatever.
Hmm.
They're one.
Integrating payments and launching its own token by 2022.
Yeah, so that's kind of a
The
thing that
Bezos
they're.
coin.
I don't know if they're gonna make their own coin. That would be kind of interesting. They want to go like the China route. They're like, we don't want to use.
Maybe they make their own coin and they use it as the preferred method of payment for all Amazon.com transactions. And in return, you like earn extra Prime points or
Well,
get
yeah,
like
like
X
essentially,
percent off or
yeah, like
something.
yeah. Basically, you make it like a credit card, right? Like instead
Yeah,
of having a
you're
credit card,
essentially creating your own like
you have a
financial system
yeah, you have
for
the
your website.
pay with Amazon points. You literally have
Yeah.
Amazon bucks that I spend.
And like the tokens like spin around and then Jeff Bezos's face like pops up and smiles at you when you spend them. Okay.
That'll be the only way you can buy Blue Origin tickets is through Amazon's coin.
Maybe. So apparently none of them are astronauts. I did see that.
Yeah,
The FAA or whoever it was, like this
yeah.
is the actual definition of being an
Well, they
astronaut.
changed
So
it.
none of you get your wings.
They changed it. They
They
were
did.
astronauts by the previous definition, and the FAA was like, "Yeah, we're not gonna that no."
So now technically the only way you can be an astronaut and get your wings is flying on SpaceX.
Yes, because they only let actual astronauts. They don't just let random
Yeah.
passengers get on.
Well, because Virgin doesn't go high enough either.
Yeah.
Virgin and Blue Origin go similar heights.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So if one is not an astronaut, I doubt the other is either.
Well, I feel like the stipulation should be like you have to actually like contribute in some way to the flight. Like I feel like if you just sit there, like no matter how
Yeah,
far
you're not
into
really an
space you
astronaut.
go-
They don't give you pilot's wings at the end of a commercial flight just because you sat in row
Yes.
34D and bought a ticket.
Yeah,
like, that's
like-
fair.
No, dude. No, they definitely did that when we were kids.
Okay, when you're like 6 years old, I feel like that's a little different.
Yes, I do. Yeah, you don't get an official recognition as a pilot for flying on
No.
a commercial flight. So I do think they'll have to change it to just like that. Like the act of being in space, or maybe they'll come up with a new word for like person who has been in space versus person who is,
Or-
actively flying people through space.
Or, and hear me out on this one, this is the marketing person in me.
Yeah.
Maybe they colluded with the FAA to change the definition so that they can make their own custom sets of wings and sell them in the gift shop when you get back.
Oh shit, that's actually true. No, so you can sell it in the gift shop at like that they have in space.
Yeah, okay, that's fair too. Yep.
You
I
can
did
only
see,
get there.
I don't know how I forgot to bring this up the last couple of times we've talked about this. Virgin Galactic and Land Rover have a partnership where Land Rover is like the official vehicle of Virgin Galactic. There is a bespoke set of finish options only available to people who have flown on that ship
Wow.
Oh.
so that you too can have an extremely limited edition Land Rover commemorating your trip into outer space or
How do you
whatever. What do they even call it now? If it's not space, is it outer space? Is it like suborbital space? Like
Middle space.
High
somebody with a science background, I'm sure knows the answer. It's just not me.
Yeah.
But
So I'm kind of confused. How do you verify that? Do you have to like send them your ticket or whatever? Like, hey,
I don't know.
This is my Virgin Galactic ticket or whatever.
Maybe you
I
have
thought you
to
were
buy it when the day that you're on property.
I thought you
I
were
mean,
gonna tell
I'm
me
sure-
something like Virgin Galactic was hiring Land Rover to make like their like vehicles
No.
for space. Like they're not like
No.
not like the spaceships, but like rovers for like other planets and stuff. I was like, what the Land Rover?
No,
Really?
no.
We take the name super seriously. Yeah, we're gonna make a Mars rover. On.
No, if you hire Land Rover to do that, you'll get them to Mars. They just won't work when you turn them on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll go 5 miles and you'll throw a differential or something and you'll be stuck there. So. But yes, that is a thing. I'm sure with a customer database as small as theirs, they have a couple different ways to verify whether or not you've been on one of these flights. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you do want one of the world's rarest Land Rovers, that is how you do it.
Maybe they only give you the option when you're buying the Virgin Galactic ticket. They're like, would you like
Yeah,
to,
maybe, I don't
would
know.
you
Maybe it's like
to
an
add
add-on.
Yeah, would you
Yeah.
like to add on a Land Rover?
Yeah. Just for another $60,000, you could have.
Oh,
this
it's more than that.
Yeah, that's like base price.
Let me see if I can get a price on this. Now I'm curious. I need to remember.
Virgin Galactic and Land Rover, really?
Yep. Well, you have to remember they're both British.
Yeah, okay, that's true.
An Astronaut Edition Range Rover is
Wow.
actually what it is called.
They couldn't get like Aston Martin chipping on this. I mean, like the clientele that you're servicing, like. Like, what is the overlap between Land Rover fans and people who want to be in space? I'm not actually
A
sure.
meeting of pioneering minds on land and in space. Land Rover joined Virgin Galactic on its journey to space in 2014 as the exclusive automotive partner for the world's first commercial space line. Since then, a fleet of Land Rover vehicles has been on the ground at the company's development and test facilities in Mojave and at its home, Spaceport America in New Mexico, providing valuable support to the Virgin Galactic team as it moves closer to regular commercial spaceflight. Blah, 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 blah. This is the part where they tell you how their philosophies are very similar. Elegance and beauty and sense of adventure and all that marketing bullshit.
Yes, you're pushing boundaries. Land Rover beyond land. Oh, man.
And okay, so first things first, the exterior color is unique to this only edition.
Is it like the same color as the ship?
It's a multi-layered paint that mirrors the sky and the inky, infinite depths of outer space.
Do you have a picture? Can you share this?
I don't know how to share my screen without totally screwing up the call, but
I mean, it's just fine. We'll just share it. It'll just
Here, I'll drop you the link and you can look at it if you want to. I would describe it as a mix between like.
I feel like you could just share it on your screen. Like I feel it's fine if it.
Okay. All right.
Like it's not like the.
You asked. Oh no, let's turn off the camera. Jeez, Jordan, way to go. Share your screen. Okay, you ready for this?
Yeah, sure.
All right, that is the color.
It looks like speckled gray. Like it literally
it's like
looks
purplish blue,
purplish
gray.
blue with like white flecks in it. I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying.
Just looks
it's a
dirty.
cool color, but I don't know that it's like.
I don't know. It kind of just looks like the back of a dirty Land Rover right now to me.
Okay, so this is the custom inside thing depicting man's evolution of flight.
Oh my gosh!
From like Icarus and his strap-on wings to the first biplane, all the way up to the rocket ship.
Okay, that's kind of cool, but I feel like
But how much are they charging you for that on your console?
Like you could pay someone on Etsy to do that.
You totally could. Okay, you've got some type of custom running board or arm piece or whatever that is.
Is it made out of spaceship steel?
Constellations. It looks like these are like door lamps or something, and they're constellations.
Oh, it's a step. It's like the sill, like the door sill thing.
Oh, for your feet. I
Step
gotcha.
in, yeah.
Yep. Okay.
So you know where the step is. Oh, I see. It looks better in this picture than it did in that.
I mean, it looks like a Land Rover.
Well,
like it's
that up close picture. I swear, the white just makes it look like
it just looks like dust, right?
Yeah, it just looks like a dusty Land Rover.
Yeah,
that's not a good image.
Also, apparently these are the cup holders. I forgot to show you these.
What?
VSS like Unity.
Future astronaut. See you up there. But you're not.
No. Okay.
That's misleading marketing.
Wait, no, it's too late, right? They should have already been up there, right? Unless you can get the car prior to flying.
I feel like you buy it. Well, because
Well, so remember that nobody has these yet. These are for commercial customers. They have not yet made a commercial flight.
Yeah, that's true.
True.
So these probably say something a little different now.
Okay,
can you flip it over and it says like "I am an astronaut" or something?
I don't know.
Thanks for flying.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Of course, nowhere in here does it tell you
What the
what it
price is
costs.
gonna be? Yeah. Well, you have to
Um,
buy the ticket first, Jordan, before you can find
well,
out.
yeah, the ticket's $250,000, so you know it's at least $250,000.
What's the base price for the same like Range Rover?
Great question.
Then we can add like a $30,000 additional tax on top.
Oh, it's
Luxury.
probably more than 30,000 extra.
Yeah, but it's like,
Base price Range Rover currently is 92,000.
oh my,
So it's probably like a 200 grand car on top of your 250 grand.
jeez.
Yeah, so between that and your ticket, you're pushing $500,000.
I wonder how many of those they're actually gonna sell. Like, someone clearly in marketing and finance was like, "We will sell enough of these to justify production and advertisement for them." So,
Well, so here's the thing you have to remember. I was listening to, in my spare time while I work, I enjoy listening to like marketing talks. And I was listening to Rory Sutherland over at Ogilvy. Absolutely wildly entertaining man to listen to, but also extremely intelligent. And he brought up the excellent point that back in the day, you could not buy a Maserati or a Rolls Royce at a car dealership. You could only buy them at yacht shows. And the reason you could only buy them at yacht shows was because compared to the price of a yacht, they're extremely cheap. And so you're already targeting a very specific clientele, but you're giving them something where they have no accurate basis for price comparison because there are no other cars for sale. But then you're also giving them something cheaper than what they came there to buy that could be perceived as a supplement to that experience. So
it's got to be like $150,000 ticket.
I'm guessing it has to at least be $150,000.
Yeah.
Because like I found more pictures, like the silhouette of the aircraft is like stitched into the headrest and stuff.
Hands.
It has a 518 horsepower supercharged 4-liter V8. And then apparently there's a plug-in hybrid version, which I did not know. Oh yeah, not even Car and Driver knows how much money this is. So sorry, if Car and Driver doesn't know, we're probably out of luck on this one. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No one at Car and Driver has felt the need to buy a ticket yet, so haven't been asked if they want to buy the car.
They're just a little bitter they don't get to put it in their next like 10 best SUV comparisons.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, but yes, an interesting marketing ploy for sure. But yeah, if you ask me, it seems kind of silly. But
yeah,
again, knowing what we know about that clientele, perhaps it's genius.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, someone obviously thought that they would sell enough for them.
Yeah, well, and so that's the other thing. How many of these do you honestly think you have to sell? Because if they're making these bespoke, it's not like you have 10 sitting on a lot somewhere. The second somebody orders one, you make one, and then you're like, that's it.
So the base price is a little bit under 100 grand.
Yeah.
How much? Okay, so I mean, like most of the additions we've seen are like what, like custom colors and like.
So custom paint, as Kyle can attest, is extremely expensive.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably, I mean, like, 'cause the other, it's all aesthetic. It's all aesthetic changes, right? There are no performance changes to the car.
I don't know if either of those engine options they listed are available on standard Range Rovers or not. It didn't say.
I think they are.
If they're not, I bet you there are engines that they have in other models.
Oh, for sure.
They're not. They have not decided to come up with a new engine for this.
No,
in my mind, like all they have to do is say like, okay, we're gonna make some aesthetic upgrades to add space elements to this car. You know, we eat the cost of that. Paint is probably the most expensive thing. Like they already have nice leather for the interiors and stuff, right? I'm sure like even laser etching, you know, the path of flight or
hand stitching it or whatever.
Some Italian like person to hand stitch whatever into the headrest. Like it only costs so much, and like we say, we're assuming that at least add a 50% markup on it. You probably only have to sell a couple to make money, right? It does seem like a lot of work, like, you know, like for something that you will probably produce all of 7 times, but...
But again, if you're the type of person who wants to be in outer space first, you're probably not going to bat an eye if you can get a one-off car.
True.
Yeah.
I mean, like maybe the fact that so few people will buy it will be appealing to some of the people who have a chance to. They'll be like, well, we've only sold one. That could be a positive.
It immediately turns it into a collector's item. It doesn't matter if they sell 200 of them.
Yeah, they'll just
still one of 200 in the world of cars is extremely rare.
Yeah. And if it's a 15% increase in cost but a 50% increase in price, then selling 100 of them, that's a good amount of extra profit in some person's, that's some marketing person's bonus right there. Whoever suggests the idea, that's their bonus right there.
There you go. Yeah. So, you know what I have to ask next. If you spent $250,000 on a plane ticket, you buying the Land Rover?
I don't think so, because I just don't really want a Land Rover to begin with. Okay. So I wouldn't.
That's fair.
Maybe if you told me it was another car. If you told me maybe it was like a sports car that was doing like a.
Okay, so what type of car would I have to include to get you to buy one?
I don't know. Just like a Land Rover is not like like if I wanted a nice look, like if I want to spend a lot of money on a car, it would probably be more like sports car or something smaller and like way more powerful and fast than I ever really need, but that's kind of the point.
I mean, the standard engine on that has 588 horsepower. Yeah, when are you going to use 588 horsepower?
I don't need like a massive car though, and like I don't really want that. I feel like I don't want I don't want my flex piece to be like huge and taking up all.
You need like a two-door that sits like 24 inches off the ground and goes 0 to 60 in like 3 seconds. Okay.
I want something irresponsible for like.
I gotcha.
Like that way, even though I'll never drive it that fast, like I'll probably only drive it like 60 miles an hour on the freeway.
I was gonna say, I mean, my Ford Focus has a 1-liter EcoBoost turbo that goes 0 to 60 in a respectable amount of time. You want one of those?
I'd take it.
Probably doesn't look quite as cool in the astronaut night sky paint color, but beggars can't be choosers.
I could see myself buying a car though, if that's your question. Like I already had $250,000 to blow on this ticket. I blew it. I wanted to do that. I could see myself being convinced for around $150,000 that a space car would be cool, depending on the car.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd buy a Land Rover, but
so you would buy as long as it's not a Land Rover. Okay.
I could be convinced to buy maybe.
You could be
convinced.
Depends on
the price, depends on the car, but like I could see the appeal. If I have this type of money where you're saying like you already spent 200, you already have the type of money where you're like, yeah, I want to fly to space for $250,000.
Yes.
So like. Yeah, okay, I could maybe. I might be more interested in being like, can't I I want things that have more things to do with space itself. Like, I would want, like something more to do with that. But, like a space car, if that's what I can get right now.
So you want like a stick shifter with a meteorite for the ball at the end of it? Like,
oh, nice.
That's what you want?
Okay. Well, no, I would be more interested in like it would be like I would see like the things I would want would require more advancement on the space company's part. It'd be like I don't care, like like if I'm interested in spending $250,000 on going to space, like I probably want to be in space like long term. In which case, I don't really give a fuck what car I have on Earth, right? Like
fair.
Like, maybe I want like a room on like your space station hotel or something like that, or maybe I want like or maybe I want some piece of technology from the old.
So you're going like full on Bond movie at this point.
Or like
that's the type of something that you want.
You've had multiple iterations of your spacecraft, right? Like I want some piece of technology from the old version that it doesn't really do anything, but like it's a collector's. Like this is the X from the original SpaceX.
I gotcha.
Like that kind of. Like I would be interested in buying that. I would spend more money than the ticket probably on that kind of stuff at that point.
So you're officially attending the SpaceX rummage sale.
Yeah, but that would because in my mind, like you're taking the exclusivity and you're upping it to 1 of 1, right? It's gonna become a car of 1 of N, where it's only however many rich assholes want to buy this car with you. This is the only one from that spaceship. Like like this is a piece of space history or whatever you want. Like if I have that much money and that much ego, like I want to own a piece of history.
Yeah. Like I don't know, I guess for me, like, so I kind of would equate it, like, I probably would not buy the car unless I'm that big enough of, like, a space nerd. But if I'm that big enough of a space nerd, and if I'm rich enough, then I'd probably want to buy something else. So, like, I was thinking, like, along the lines of, sports. If someone wins, okay, football, you won the Super Bowl, you want that football. or
Yeah.
Formula One, you won the championship. Like some guys are like, give me the car.
Yeah.
The car is mine as part
It's
of the
like it's
contract.
part of like the. It's like
Right.
part of the memory, right? Like yeah.
It is the trophy.
Exactly.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
gotcha.
So I mean, like obviously with a spaceship or a rocket ship, you can't be like, give me the engine or something,
Give
right?
me the
But
rocket.
at least give me,
Give me a
yeah, like
booster.
yeah. So like, okay, give me the seat that I sat in there.
Yeah, like
you know?
dude, I would
I would
buy
pay
that.
60 grand for that,
Yeah, I
or
would
whatever.
Okay.
buy
Set
the
100
chair,
grand for
the
that.
chair I sat in, the suit I wore. I would definitely buy
Yes.
that. Like those kind of things.
Okay.
Because that is direct memorabilia for you.
Yeah. Another thing with the car is I probably can't own a supercar already, which is probably likely if I'm spending $250,000. Because like the car is not. The problem with the car is that, like I said, it's only an aesthetic upgrade. So like if I already have like a really nice car, I'm not gonna be super inclined to spend $200,000 on a car again just because it has space paint. I mean, like I could space paint my existing car. Like it would have to be like I spent the money, I don't have the car, but then I would want the space car because like it would be my only chance to buy the space car, so I would buy the space car.
Okay. Interesting. Clearly, we are not the
We're not the target audience.
We're not the target customer.
The
for
target
this.
customer has 5 cars, and you know he doesn't even.
I was
know
gonna say the target customer probably has a garage for
Yeah.
about 20.
He has
Yeah.
a garage for 20. He's filled it with 10, and he doesn't know where they're all parked because he asked
Yep.
his person to get
Yep.
him the car.
Yep. Hey, will you bring this one up for me?
Bring me the car that I drive every third Tuesday.
Yeah. I don't know which
I
one
don't
that
even know
one
which
is.
one that is. If you bring
Yeah.
me the wrong one, I'll know, but I don't know which one I'm asking for right now.
Oh my.
Yeah, like it's not for us. It's fun to think about, I guess. Yeah.
It is fun to think about. I do like your idea of the suits and the chairs, though. I think that's actually very, very smart.
Yeah, like, cause like, yeah, then it would be more, cause like I said, if I'm spending the $250,000.
It's way more personalized. Both of you have said that. Like,
Yeah.
it's absolutely right. Okay.
What about you, Jordan? Would you buy the car?
You're gonna laugh at me, but I feel like I probably have to.
You would buy the car. You'd be like, I did the whole experience. I want the.
Well, and then see, that's the angle I'm approaching this from. If I'm going to, and this is precisely how they want you to think about it, to sucker you into buying a car that you don't need. If you're going to spend $250,000 to fly to space, and you do not have the option to purchase anything else as a souvenir, you are going to buy the only thing they give you the option to buy.
You're saying that this is.
It's a cocktail party piece.
You're essentially
As
saying,
soon as I
okay.
fly back to my private chateau in the middle of who the hell knows where, and have my dinner party with my 50 richest friends from the Forbes 100, like, the cocktail party is in the garage, so I can gloat about this thing that I know none of the rest of them are going to be able to buy.
You haven't moved into your dining room.
I see. So
Yeah.
your argument is that because they don't give you a gift shop, essentially, this is the only thing
Yes.
you can buy as your gift shop. They do it.
It
on
is the only
purpose.
thing you can buy, and coincidentally,
It costs.
it is extremely expensive, but it's also an extremely extravagant status symbol that the type of person who buys a ticket to outer space probably has already collected several others of and has room on the shelf.
I see.
What
No.
if we take the car and we put the seat that you sat in into that car?
Yeah, you make it the driver's
That's
seat.
it.
That would be sick.
That's it.
That would be sick.
It wouldn't match at all, but I'm sure it would be
Wouldn't match at
insanely
all. I
cool.
would buy it. It would be super uncomfortable.
Who
Probably.
cares?
Probably lack all safety features, but that'd be cool.
That's
Oh,
what
I feel
did in
like
my
those
Outback
space
for
seats have to be
years.
even safer than a car seat.
Well, I don't know, but
Like, if they're going to shoot you into outer space at more G's than I can
Well, I
count,
feel
it
like
better be better than the seat I
feel
sit
like
my
it'll be
ass on in my
designed-
Ford Focus.
I won't deny that it's probably designed in a way to like withstand those forces.
Uh-huh.
I'm just saying, like, I don't know if it will integrate with the car safety features that exist.
Oh, I
properly.
gotcha.
So, like,
You're saying the
could you
side
put
curtain
your-
airbag, instead of
Yeah,
hitting you in the side of the head like it's supposed to, is going to hit you down
yeah,
like under your arm
would you
somewhere.
be safe in the actual event of a collision? Like, and your
Yeah.
like, is your seatbelt like, is it gonna like work properly? I mean, like, maybe you'd have the astronaut seatbelt, so it'd be like the double
Yeah,
strap.
I don't know, Jordan.
That might work.
I don't know if a rocket's designed for T-bone collisions.
Yeah, like I'm not sure. I'm not sure what happens if you go sideways in one of those
Side
seats.
containment.
Like, you know, like yeah.
Hmm. That's a
It's
good
less.
question.
I think the seat will survive. It's like, will you survive in the seat with it?
Great question.
Yeah. You know, it used to be like, you know, like that's how they realized they needed airbags because like they would
Yeah.
get in accidents. Cars would survive and the people inside the car would not survive. And you're like,
Yep.
You're right. Even if I make this metal box stronger, that just means they're hitting something that's more hard.
Yeah. The invention of the crumple zone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think if nothing else, we've proved in this conversation that people from Virgin Galactic and Land Rover should be calling us for these ideas because we've got some good ones.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure they'll get in on the whole selling personal items from your trip thing. They'll eventually.
Yeah.
Eventually, I'm sure they will. I'm telling you though,
They're just probably trying to.
those pilots' wings are coming. They're gonna make you your own set of.
Oh, I think
pilots'
they will.
wings.
I think they. That's what I'm saying. They're gonna just make their own word for it. Like they're gonna come up with their own word for a passenger astronaut, whatever that is going to be. Like they're gonna butcher cosmonaut.
A pastronaut.
Like yeah.
I was gonna call him an assenger, but I don't think that's probably appreciated.
No, I think that one would be a little. Yeah.
Oh,
I don't think that one would make it through PR. I don't think that.
Space cadet.
I don't know, man. Maybe
I don't want to
SpaceX.
call it space cadet either. I'm sure each company will call it their own thing too, right?
What was it in Toy Story? Space Ranger.
Yeah,
You want to be a Space Ranger?
Yes, I do.
There we go. Oh my. I'm curious to see how these gift shop things develop though,
Maybe
because
it'd be like Galaxy Cadet because like Space Cadet is like too insulting, right? Like you know, hey. Space
but like
Cadet.
it's not. You're not touring the galaxy though.
But it's Virgin Galactic. So
True.
It's like, you know, like,
True.
You know, but what would like Blue Origin and Space?
Or bumper sticker. I've lost my space virginity.
Galactic virginity lost.
Oh my. Seriously, Virgin Galactic, you know where to find me. If you want to start cutting me some checks for some marketing ideas, I got you covered. Got you covered. Oh my.
And then they watch some of the previous episodes, and they're like, "Oh, they're definitely talking shit about us."
They weren't. We weren't
I prefer the term professional critique.
Oh, true.
We are providing a professional critique of the market opportunity that exists for the average investor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we weren't super high on their IPO. Speaking of which, isn't it like Robinhood's IPO tanking right now or whatever?
I am so glad you brought that up because I am about ready to take my victory lap on this one.
Yeah.
Actually, to be fair, all three of us said that we absolutely would not buy it. All three of us were absolutely correct. I want to say in the first day, it was down like 8%.
Jesus, 8%.
Holy.
Hold on. Okay, so nah, that's not quite right. Okay, so they price shares at $38.
It opened at.
And no, it opened at 38.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it was 8%. Yeah, it closed at 34.82, which is more than 8%.
What did they want to open at? Like, what was their target?
38.
The target was 38. Okay, and it just.
Well, and so in the private market, when they were when things went on sale for private equity last year, some of them were as high as $55 a share.
Jeez.
Last year.
So you say, okay, from 55 to 38 to 34.
So this is, I'm assuming, last year prior to their mishandle
Scandal
of GME.
I mean, they've had this problem as long as they've been alive, or as long as they've existed. I guess companies are not alive, but this has been a skeleton in the closet for as long as they've been around.
Well, yeah, the last year was the year where the public decided that they didn't like that.
Well, it was the year that the public decided to care, and I do also think that some of this Wall Street bet stuff and like the changing desires in the retail investing market definitely have something to do with this. Like they're, contrary to what the name wants you to believe, they are not the people who are robbing from the rich and giving to the poor. Like, they don't care who gets screwed over if it means that they're processing orders and making money. Like, we've all seen the stories of people who like get addicted to the app and take out like 5 mortgages on their house, and like
Yeah.
There was that awful story of the guy who misread his options chart and jumped in front of a train because he thought he lost $790,000. Like that, those types of things are very, very difficult to recover from when you've made the previous missteps that they have, and the tone you take with the rest of it is alarmingly insincere. It's like that's the other half of this. Like,
Well, I think their biggest problem was those type of events directly contradicted with what happened with GME too. Like their
yeah,
problem was they were like, okay, people commit suicide because they use we give them, basically we are giving the average person who may or may not actually know what they're doing the power to make larger scale financial decisions that could have long-standing impact positively and negatively.
yep,
And so sometimes people misplayed or misunderstood what happened, and tragedies arise out of that. Their defense
yeah,
for that is, well, to give you guys power, like we have to give you access to these services. That lets you have a fair market to trade in and have an equal ground with the other, the people, the rich people that we steal from as
well,
Robinhood.
and part of their problem too is they were like, look, the app has built-in tutorials.
Yeah, well, like
I don't know about you, but if I am presented with a tutorial for something and I have even the slightest idea that I think I know how it works, I'm skipping that tutorial.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
100% of the time.
But their defense was basically like, look, we have to give you access to these tools in order for you to have a fair playing field, and like we try to educate you, whether or not that is an acceptable level. We try to educate you, and that's our defense. And then the problem with that is that with GME, when they showed that it's not a level playing field, everyone said, look, you are suckering us into this app essentially and saying like, oh, we're giving you power. At the end of the day, like, if you want to exercise certain trades that make you more money, you will exercise those trades and not the ones that we want to make. So like, you're giving us access to these tools, but only letting us use them when it makes you money, and you're not protecting us if it gets, like, you clearly are able to stop trades from going through if it hurts you, and you do that if it hurts you, but you won't do that in the interests of like the people using the app. And so that became the problem to me. Is like, okay, you can say we let people jump and die. Like, if you want to say that, we let people do that because we don't want to interfere with the process at all, because we want this to be fair. Like, if that's gonna be your defense, fine. But as soon as you go to a company and say like, oh, you don't want us to let them buy that because that's bad for you, like we'll do that. Like, then the process is like, no, then it's not tainted it's not untainted anymore. And then at that point, your defense of, well, we just let people do whatever is not valid, because you don't let people do whatever. You let people do certain things, and those certain things lead to people committing suicide. So
Well, I guess my point here is everybody take a bow. You were absolutely 100% correct in your call. Yeah, I saw where Kathy Wood's ARK bought like millions of shares of this, and like, all due respect to Kathy Wood, because she's made some really, really damn good calls on some things. I don't care how new and cutting edge this one is. There is way too much baggage for me to ever get excited about this. Like, the only way I would ever get excited about Robinhood is if they got rid of both of the co-founders who keep making all these really, really dumb public statements and hired somebody who actually knows how to do PR.
Well, maybe that's the idea. I mean, like, long term, maybe they do think that this is something that people will just, it's a PR nightmare for now, but eventually people will forget.
But how many nightmares have they already had? Like, this is the thing.
Well, that's the thing too.
If it's a one-off, okay, maybe I'll give you that argument. This is like the 6th time we've had to have this conversation because they have royally screwed something up.
Yeah, but despite the other 5 times, they're still pretty big. Like, we're ripping them because their IPO is like not doing as well as they want. But
because it was one of the worst IPOs in recent history.
They're still a company that like has a lot of users, and at the end of the day was making a lot of money for like a while. So like
Well, and so this is the thing. They're still worth billions of dollars, and yet. It feels like in some ways they're hanging on by a thread because they can't get out of their own way.
I think the idea is that you do just, if you are investing in the company, you are just hoping that like it quiets down, people forget eventually, and maybe you rebrand it at some point, but you're betting on the fact that because Robinhood is so established, because it was basically
Yeah.
first, right?
Mhm.
In its field, because it was basically first, because it's so established, because even though a lot of people don't like it, it had so many users who probably. I mean, I'm sure a lot of users flew off the app to not, they traded,
Yeah.
they took all their positions out of it, moved them to some other firm or other app or whatever. But there are
other
users,
competitors.
There are plenty of users who didn't do that, who just kept their stuff on there no matter how they felt about the. Maybe they don't invest more money in there, but whatever they already had in there, they're actively trading with that still or whatever, So maybe the hope is like you just ride out the wave. And I mean, if it only has to go above $40 for her to make money, then it's not like she's betting that it's going to go to 400. If it goes to 45, she was right, I guess. So
No, but see, here's the thing. Like, to a retail investor, if you buy it at 38 and flip it at 45, that's a good deal. Like, these people are buying it because they think it can go to 400.
well, I mean, I know, but
Like, if they have to sell it at 45 because it's the only way they'll make money, they'll do it. Don't get me wrong.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, maybe she thinks
But
the floor of this is 45. Like, the ceiling could be whatever. Maybe she thinks that long term the floor of this is 45. Like PR, like as bad of a nightmare as this will not mean anything in 10 years, and this company will be at least worth a little bit more than it's worth now, and ideally it's worth 10 times the amount or whatever. But like it could be not. Like if she thinks the floor is 45, then buying millions of dollars of it is fine. If the value is somewhere between $45 and $400, then yeah, why not? I don't agree, but
that's why we're not Kathy Wood.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know, man. But well, this week's going to be a little bit shorter. I wanted to make sure that we covered some of the space stuff. I wanted to make sure we had time to bask in our victory on the Robinhood call. But it is a new month, and with a new month means that there is a new opportunity to win or a new opportunity to not get last. So, now that crypto has kind of collectively thrown us a bit of a lifeline, does anybody have any moves planned? Are you getting in? Are you getting out?
I feel like
you holding the course, staying the course? Like what are we doing?
I feel like it should probably sell Ripple. I think it's at a slight positive right now, and then go figure out something else to do with the rest of the money.
All right, Kyle.
I don't know. I guess Ethereum has been kind of on a positive upswing.
I mean, if you're still down negative, if you're down 60%, I wouldn't be selling.
Oh, that's right.
That.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I'm actually finally positive on Bitcoin too. So I guess maybe I feel like, well, over the month it's down 4% in.
Oh yeah, this month or whatever. Yeah, I'm
down
4%.
Well, I mean, it's only been a couple hours, but I guess.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll see on that. I don't know if that's gonna, if it's making its way towards dropping me to like below to negatives, then maybe I get out. But I don't know. I guess Ethereum, just I can't take. If I'm gonna take a loss on a.
Don't take one that big.
I'm gonna take a triple-digit loss.
To zero.
To zero.
Yeah.
Right, all the way down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Oh my.
Yeah, I think Ethereum probably a good idea to hold, and then Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you think it's gonna do that weird thing again, where it just hovers around 40,000, then yeah, hopping off while you have some sort of positive gain, not a bad idea. Cause I feel like it'll probably dip a little bit, and then you could just rebuy and then not.
Honestly, that's what I wish I would have done last time. I wish I would have rebalanced.
Yeah.
Like, don't sell all of it, but sell some of it, lock in a decent gain, and then either keep the cash on hand for when it does correct, or invest it in something else.
Yeah.
It's like, I was up 70%. Like, I don't need all of that. Like, just shave off a piece, you know?
Yeah, just to get most of your initial or part of your initial investment back, and then
well, and it also protects the rest of my portfolio from being overly vulnerable to wild fluctuations in Bitcoin, because if Bitcoin is the number one holding that I have, it's automatically going to outweigh everything else in the portfolio anyway.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen firsthand that maybe that's not a very good idea.
Can work either way.
Yeah, I mean, it looks great when it's on a bull run, and it looks really awful when it's not. So, just like anything else in the market, sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong, but you're never going to be perfect.
For sure.
Well, alrighty, guys. Best of luck with week 1 of August. I'm eager to see if any of those potential moves come to pass, and be sure to let me know if you do end up getting one of those Land Rovers or anything ridiculous if you do end up making it into outer space.
Yeah, maybe I'll invest in Land Rover.
Nice.
Since I know they'll be getting that nice.
I mean, they're part of Tata Motors now, I think, so you'd have to buy the conglomerate. But
Tata bought Land Rover?
I think so.
That's not.
Well, because Jaguar and Land Rover are like the same thing, right?
Yeah, I thought so I think they were previously owned by Ford. I don't know when that. I know at one point they were owned by Ford, but I don't know when it ended or whatever. Whenever.
Yeah, since 2008, they've been a subsidiary of India's Tata Motors.
Oh, yes.
Wow.
That's when they were bought. Same time as Jaguar.
Yeah.
As Dorian was saying.
Back when people stopped buying luxury vehicles because the market went to shit and nobody had any money.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's hard to justify a 6-figure asset that depreciates the moment you buy it. So.
Yeah.
When cash is not doing too well on hand. So.
Yeah.
No, it is not. But that's a conversation for another day. Best of luck with this week, and yeah, talk to you again soon. We'll see what the standings say. Later, guys.
See ya.
Take care, guys.